Well, hello everybody and welcome to the grid here for race 2 of Golf Procar, a second 25-minute sprint race here, and we're on the grid, but it's very empty at the moment. That's because pit lane has just opened here for the drivers that will take to the grid, and so far on the piece of paper that I have in front of me that I've taken a picture of on my phone, we have only 12 cars that will start on the grid. A further 3 may start from the pit lane. We'll have to wait and see confirmation, because remember the Polos unfortunately didn't go out during qualifying, so we'll have to wait and see if they either start from the pit exit or if they will take their positions up on the grid. But looking at the sheet here, I think they will start from pit exit. So excuse me, it's not 3, it's actually 2, because there is actually one Polo that's shown here on my piece of paper, which is Rahil Taneja, who took second earlier on today in the Polo Cup. Now, another talking point that I'm going to get to here is what happened to Giovanni Nucera, because he was the leader in 2 Cup, but unfortunately, not everything went the way he planned it to. He was the leader, but unfortunately, when it came to the penultimate lap, he came in the pit lane, and it seemed to be kind of odd. He didn't seem to be slowing down, so obviously there was a problem with the car. So what we'll do is we'll go stick a microphone in his face and find out exactly what happened, if he will talk to us about it. But once again on pole position is Litlaka, who of course was the Class 1 winner, and of course he is retaking pole position here as well, and lining up alongside him will be Giovanni Nucera. Now the sun is beginning to set here at the YAS Marina circuit. It is a lot cooler than it was earlier today. It was very, very hot when we did the first race earlier on, but now I can say comfortably the weather is absolutely fantastic here on the grid. We're still waiting for our cars to make their way onto the grid, into their positions. Another great talking point from race 1 earlier today was Sharky Lamali getting his first ever victory in class in 2 Cup. He was absolutely delighted. He was handed a 10-second penalty, but he had enough of a gap between himself and his Baron Motorsport teammate not to be impeded by that penalty, which is great. And it's a boost of confidence for Baron Motorsport, because they're honing their craft. They joined the series last season actually in Golf Procar. They've been constantly improving. They did a bit of racing in Europe. They raced at Monza together, but here they are once again against one another. The other talking points, of course, are those in the Renault Clio category. Avec Anwar took a fantastic victory earlier on today with both Anthony Shanok and Roman Tishkanov vying for position at the later stages of the race. So let's see how that pans out as well, because Avec Anwar will actually start in pole position in that category as well, and he'll be on the 4th row of the grid, just somewhere around here when he arrives. And what we'll do is the first car that we see that comes through turn 16, we will see if we can get a word in with that driver, because, well, if you're the first one here, you're the first one to be interviewed, essentially. And there's not many team personnel on the grid either that we could have a chat to. The series organisers have conveniently walked away, so we can't talk to them either. But with a 25-minute race about to get underway, there's been a slight delay in timing as well. Just a few things needed to be fixed here and there. So what we'll do our best to find the drivers on track when they come and have a word with them here for this incredible event. And of course, it is a 7-round championship. It'll go all the way through 25 and 26. So towards the tail end here we are at 25. A few months in 26, we'll kind of bring it to a conclusion at the end of the series in March. And to pick out early favourites, well, it's a little bit difficult here at the moment, because there are some very quick drivers that may be just a little bit unfortunate here in race 1. But a championship certainly can't be lost or won in the first rounds. We'll have to wait to the end of the championship to see what happens. Now, the grid is getting busier, and I hope there are cars coming our way now as well. We can check out the reflections to see where all the cars are. You kind of see them glimmering across, and you can see them reflected coming into pit lane. So still biding our time here, waiting for it. Now, for those of you who might be new to Golf Procar, what it is a race within a race within a race within a race, because it's not just one class of cars here. We have at least 5. We have Class 1, which our pole sitter will take position in. Up there to the left, you can actually see the team just having a quick conversation there. You can actually spot Axel Jeffries, a GT legend, who raced a number of times here in the United Arab Emirates, and I think has raced pretty much every GT car that I can think of. Then, of course, we've got 2 Cup, where we see all the Porsches. We've got Class 3, where we have the Soul 718. Then we have, of course, the Renault Clios. We have Class 4, and we have the new addition to the championship, the Polo Cup. And this one's quite interesting, because it's essentially like an arrive and drive. So think about it, that you come to a track and you just want to experience the car for what it is. Well, what Polo Cup Middle East are offering here is the same experience, but essentially on the track itself, racing with 12 other drivers. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great initiative, and it's fantastic to see the Polo Cup guys come across from India, bring their cars in, and from what I've heard, they've got quite a few cars available, which is fantastic. So if you're interested in Arrive and Drive, this is the place to be. Golf Procar is the place to join, because you can experience what it's like to race not just here at the YAS Marina circuit, but also at the Dubai Autodrome. And I see our first lot of cars are coming in. You can hear that grumble of the Aston Martin there coming in, and the marshals telling him, slow down, it's not the start of the race just yet, just keep it nice and slow, as Karim Zahur brings the lap 57 Honda DC5 to our position here. And you know what? It wasn't really the first one that arrived. There are plenty of drivers that have appeared. So let's actually head down here, because who I really want to have a chat with is Sharky El-Abali, because he was so excited. The Baron Motorsport team was so delighted after this win here earlier today. And it wasn't just one car on the podium, it was actually two cars that they had on the podium here. And that was a great effort, a great drive from Baron Motorsport. And they've got quite a lineup of drivers, technicians, driver coaches, and the likes of that. And I see the the passenger door is already open on Sharky's car. Let's go see if we can have a quick word with him while he's getting cool air blasted in his face. You see Ramesh Azam here as well, and a formed GT racer in his own right, just giving some last-minute advice here to Sharky, because, of course, it's a team effort here to get the best result as they can. They want to double up. They want another race victory. It's going to be quite tough when you line up alongside your teammate as well, because not only does he have to look straight, he's going to look left, and worst of all, he's got his teammate, so he's going to be extremely mindful of that man there on his left. So I wonder, I don't think we can get a quick word with them. Let's try Sim. Let's go see if we can talk to Rawad, because Rawad doesn't seem to be having that last-minute debrief. Oh, wait, he is, because he's got Axel Jeffries here talking to him about various things. And if there's any better person to have chatting in your ear at any point, Axel Jeffries is certainly the man to be. It's very unfortunate that both drivers who come to chat to, they're not available. And I'm looking through the grid now as well. There's not many drivers. Stanislav Minsky's having a quick chat with his team as well. I wanted to try and get the four up here, because these are the ones that we've all got to keep a very close eye out on for as well. Now, we'll try our best. Or should we? Oh, there's still a few more cars coming, so we've still got plenty of time to figure out who we want to talk to here. See, look at that. See what Axel's doing here? He's actually telling him the preferred line down towards turn one. See, that's some insights that you don't usually get to see here. So he's kind of dictating where he should be going, the most optimal line down towards the first corner, because, of course, it can be quite treacherous down there. We do have some more cars coming. I don't see any of the Polos, but again, very unfortunate that we can't get a quick one. Let's go a little bit further back. Let's see if we can actually have a chat with, let's try and get, if we can, Rahil Taneja from Polo Cup Middle East to have a quick chat with us here. Or what we can try and do, actually, is have a quick word here with our winner in the Clio Cup, in Renault Clio that is, while he has a sip of water. Avik, it's quite a jump from the 86 category into the Clios. Talk us through it. What's the biggest difference between the two classes?
The Clio is a lot harder to drive. You have to manage a lot of things inside the car, especially the tires, the ABS, the brake bias. And so it's a very professional racing car compared to the 86. 86 is more beginner friendly.
And of course, now you've got the other Clios surrounding you here. Is it going to be another race victory here, or do you think it's going to be a bit tougher?
Inshallah, that's what I hope for. If it's tougher, it's better, because I enjoy competition. Yeah.
Well, good luck. There is our race one winner in the Clios. Oh, wait, yes. Now Sharky just has a fan to cool him down inside the car. Let's go talk to him and heat things up a little bit, shall we? So, of course, our race one winner. Sorry, Ramesh, I know you're keeping Sharky cool. Does he need to be that cool? I don't think so. A race one victory. You are absolutely delighted with that. Are we going to see a second race victory from you here?
I'm here to push. I'm here to enjoy. Let's aim to finish the race safe and clean for everyone, and good luck.
And what's it like starting alongside your Baron Motorsport teammate here? Have you got a plan to go down to turn one, or it's just whoever's there first, that's who's in the lead?
You know, it's a competitive race, right? We're brothers, but at the end of the day, we're competitive.
Brothers and competitors, good luck there. Let's go see if we can talk to your brother. He's still got Axel in his ear at the moment. Let's see. Oh, let's have a see if we can have a quick chat with Nocera real quick. Just real quick. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much. Giovanni, it was heartbreaking. You were second. You were actually leading the class, but then 2 laps to go, you came in the pit lane. Is everything sorted out with the car?
Yeah, we had an electrical issue, so it was better to retire. The gearbox was not working anymore, so we came back to pit.
And now, with everything fixed with the car, do you think that you'll be on the top step of the podium in the 2 Cup, or do you think it might be a little bit difficult this time around?
No, I believe it's the same as before. I mean, for us it's a practice because I've never raced in my life. This is my first experience. So it's a practice for 12 hours.
Okay, that I did not expect that. First race ever. Remember that. First race ever here for Giovanni Lucera. Of course, gearing up. Thank you so much, Giovanni, for talking to us real quick there. Unfortunately, I don't see any of the Polos on the grid, so that's very unfortunate. Rahul Taneja's not here, and none of them are here on the grid either, because what's going to happen here is they will be starting from pit exit, which would be great to see because that will fluff up the grid here as well. That means we'll have even more cars that'll be racing here, vying for position and jostling. But I really want to see what happens in Polo Cup here, because the drivers they have here, especially that number 90, is rocket fast. It's been incredible to see what he does in qualifying. And from what I've heard, the Clio and Polo Cup are evenly matched. So we might have a great scrap this time round in race 2 of Golf Procar. Looking forward to it. We still have a few minutes. Let's head down that way. Let's see if we can try and get a quick word with anybody here if we can, because the grid is now kind of empty. No one's really here with the last people. So we're the ones that are being naughty here. So we might have to leave. So I might have to bid you farewell. And then I will see you back up in the commentary box. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get underway with race 2 here of Golf Procar, the second of 2 races. Unlike Golf Radical Cup, they'll only do 2 races here today. They won't do a third one tomorrow. And this will be another 25-minute race here for our 12 participants that are currently on the grid, but I have a feeling we'll have a few more on the grid as well, because during race 1, well, we had 12 on the grid. Well, we're missing Rahul Taneja, so we've got 11. And the 3 Polo Cup cars, they started from the pit lane. And I have a feeling we might be doing the same thing here again. It's very unfortunate what happened there with the Polo Cup Middle East cars. But the good thing is that we got them out on track and we had some great racing. And that number 90 car is very, very quick indeed. So here's how they line up. Leclerc is on the front row of the grid with Giovanni Lucera alongside. Lucera is on the left-hand side of your pictures. On the right-hand side is the Aston Martin of Leclerc, who will be starting from pole position as he did in race number 1 and looking for another outright victory. But for Giovanni Lucera, looking for his first victory in class. Very unfortunate what he was telling us on the grid of what happened here, but great to see his mindset here, and he's not too worried about the issues that the car faced. The team has done a fantastic job to get the car up and running again, so hopefully no more electrical issues with that Porsche 992 Cup car. And of course, he's gearing up for the endurance race that comes up next month, which would be the Golf 12 Hour. And by the looks of it, we have a Porsche that has not got going, and that is El Amali, who did not get going off the line. Now, the good news is he will be able to retake his position, but now we have a stuck Clio. We have a Clio that is stalled, and I have a feeling that's Avik Anwar. No, it's not. It's not Avik Anwar. That's the number 20 of Roman Teshkanov, who has not got it off the line, as the Honda DC5 of Karim Zahur gets it going as well. Unfortunately, he was stuck behind him, but that car just looks like it's not moving at all. He's trying to get into gear, but it's just lurching forward. Unfortunately, I think that car might be pulled behind the pit wall there, and we'll have to start the race from a pit exit. Now, for Karim Zahur, that's not good news either, because he was slowed down, albeit he was 12th on the grid. So essentially he's gained at least one position, as Rahil Taneja did not make the start of this race on the grid. Instead, I think he'll start from pit lane. Great shots here as the sun begins to set around the Aston Marina circuit and bring an end to racing here today. We'll do it all again tomorrow for at least 45 minutes of racing. But before we do that, we have a 25-minute race to figure out who will be on the top step of the podium in their respective classes. And that is great news to see as well, that Tishkanov is out on track. One of the youngest drivers that we have in the field, following the footsteps of the likes of Harry Hannum, who raced in the Clio Cup Middle East Championship and was a winner, well, a champion actually, in his first ever season there. And of course, Roman will be looking to do the same thing as Harry did last year, or last season even. So the safety car pulls them down the back straight here as 60 kilometers an hour will feel like an absolute eternity going down the back straight. Now, I wonder what the Honda DC5, excuse me, was trying to communicate there to Anthony Chinook in front of him. There was a flash of the lights and there was a flash of the hazards as well. So interesting piece of communication going on between those two. But we are now working our way through turn 5, and this formation lap feels like an absolute eternity. Just imagine what it's like behind the wheels of these cars here that are roaring and ready to go with over 500 plus horsepower. Okay, maybe not the Clio's DC5 and the Polo, but they do share quite an amount of horsepower with them as well. Over 200 in some of these cars as well in the other category. So again, just to remind you, we've got 5 different categories here. We've got Class 1, which you see that Lecker in the front there with the Aston Martin Vantage. And then we've got 2 Cup, which is filled with the Porsches 992, and there is a different one in the field as well. We'll get to that when they pop up on our timing screen. Then we've got the 718 Cayman, which is in Class 3, tucked in just behind its teammate. And then, of course, we have Class 4, we have the Renault Clios, and we have the Polo Cup as well here in Golf Procar. So it's a real mixed bag of cars here, and drivers, and also their experience. As we heard from Luchera, this is the first time out essentially racing here, not just the Aston Marina circuit, but behind the wheel of this car as well, which is an experience in its own right, and leading the field for most of the race, and unfortunately having that electrical issue late on in the race really put a hindrance to his championship hopes here. But of course, as we said before, you cannot win a race in the first round. You can certainly, and you can't lose one either, because there's still a long season to go here in Golf Procar. This is only the beginning, and this is the second race of the season, and we're about to get underway as underneath the W Hotel goes the Lega, and alongside him Nucera, our pole sitter and second place car there. Now, is there a gap between some of our cars here? Now, Sanas Aminsky did go through, Anton Yechmenev went through as well, but it looked like there was a gap, unless the cars are just moving around here before they form up in their positions. As the safety car will peel off on the exit of turn 15, it will go head on, but our drivers will take the right turn here through turn 15, and there'll be one final corner to go after that. There indeed is a gap there on the field, because we should have Rahil Taneja, who should be alongside the lap 57, number 57 of Karim Zahur. So down now across the line, the lights are on, we're under the starters' orders, and lights out, and we are racing here for the second time, the final time today as well in Golf Procar. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic battle all the way to the end. It's going to be a drag race, and unfortunately 2 of the Porsches come together. That is the 37 that's had contact, and it's had a bit more contact as well, because the rear spoiler has been clipped, and that is the 37, unfortunately, right through turn 1. And unfortunately, 2 cars don't go into 1. Here is a replay of what happened. You see Nucera on the far left of your picture just cuts a little bit too deep on the inside there, and unfortunately that collects Rawad Saladin, and that might be one of the Baron Motorsport cars out, and that will be very, very unfortunate for Rawad as well. Good job there from the 2, but unfortunately it was his brother who clipped the spoiler So is there damage now on both of the Baron Motorsport cars? We'll have to wait and find out. I don't know if that car got going again. We'll have to wait and see. It's showing the 16 is at the tail end of the field. That is not Rawad's number. Those are the 3 Polos that are making their way out of the pit lane. And the number 16, is Giovanni Lucera, who is at the tail end. So not sure what happened there to Giovanni after the contact was made. Maybe there's a bit more to it than we saw. And there you can see the spoiler is, it looks like it's offset on that 37 machine. That might be just because one of the blades on the left-hand side of the car has been flicked off, but still ahead of Stanislav Minsky. So this is going to be interesting how this one pans out now, because have we lost 1 or more cars here at the YAS Marina circuit in sprint race number 2 for Golf Procar. Lecker is out in front, but by how much? Well, we'll find out when he comes across the line this time round, how much Lecker is in the lead of this race. Ahead of who, though, would it be? I think it'll be Charles Alamali, who will be 2nd overall and leading in 2 Cup. So across the line will come Lecker, the number 7 Aston Martin. But who is behind him is the real question, and who now is the leader in 2 Cup is the bigger question. It's Charles Alamali who leads, with Stanislav Minsky running in 3rd for the time being overall, but 2nd in class. But who will be behind him is the question. Maxim Volonkin is in 4th position in that Class 3 car, ahead of Anton Yechmenev, who is in 3rd position in 2 Cup. Now Nucera and Saladin, how far back do they fall down the order? As they're across the line comes Giovanni Nucera. Avik Anwar tucked in behind him with Karim Zahor, Anthony Shanok as well through, but Rawad Saladin has not come through just yet. Now, if we look at the track map and see where the 37 is, well, it should be coming across the line now, and indeed it does. A lot of work now cut out there for Rawad Saladin and also for Shalke Lamali, because how much is that damaged rear spoiler affecting the aero on the car? It does look like it's slightly off-center, although that could be how the car was set up, but it does look like it's slightly off-center now when it comes through and down the back straight, but up through turn 6. Now, if we look at the lap time, the 2:06.512, so just 0.2 of a second slower compared to Stanislav Minsky there on that previous lap. But still in the lead there in class. But this, of course, now is the battle for the class lead as well for 2 Cup between the 82 and 72 as they work their way through turn 9. Now, the odd one out here is Maxim Volonkin, who is third in Class 3, but 4th overall at the moment, 8.3 second adrift, and ahead of his teammate, Anton Yechmenev, who is in 2 Cups. So what Maxim should be doing is letting Anton through and then let him chase down Stanislav Minsky. But we did see in race 1, it was Maxim in front of Anton for most of the race here. And then also we have to look at what Giovanni Nucera can do as well. A 2:27.886 last time round, so about 20-ish seconds off of the fastest lap of the race that's been set so far, but also about 20 seconds off the pace, but that was due to the contact that we saw in turn 1 on the opening lap here in cars 16 and 37. That incident is noted and is, of course, under review by the stewards. Now we're looking at the Polo Cup cars here. The number 90 is the one to really watch out for here, because not only was he carving his way through the field, he was really mixing it up with the Clios, not just third, but also second as well. He was dicing it up with. It would have been great to see what would have happened during qualifying, how much pace that car actually had compared to those Clios, as Giovanni Nucera up past Anton Yechmenev and Maxim Volonkin on this lap. So it looks like all is good there with Giovanni, but of course now has a lot of work cut out from him if he wants to be on the podium in class. Well, actually now with that move done, he is actually now in 3rd position. Rawad Saladin now up the mix as well. He's made his way up the order and now is up behind Anton Yechmenev, and that is for position in class as well. That'll be for 4th overall. As we're looking at the 37 right now. It doesn't look as badly damaged as first thought there between those 2 cars, but maybe there's some damage that we can't quite see on the cameras here. It's a great battle here brewing in the Polo Cup. This is the 90 and the 9. Rahil Taneja currently in that number 9 in 2nd position, and Ojas in front of him in the 90. 9/10 of a second is the gap between these 2 cars here. And it looks like we have a different driver in that third Polo Cup car, and it's the 36 that has entered the fray. And Storav behind the wheel of that one in the 36. Currently 10.5 seconds adrift from Rahil Taneja. That's number 9 car. So back now with the race leader, Litlaka, who leads here by 12.65 is the gap, but it's the gap that's behind him between Alamali and Minsky. 0.6 of a second is the gap between those two, and then it's a further 17.3 backs to Volonkin, but now that will be Giovanni Nucera, who is now up into third position in class and fourth overall. And there is the battle for the lead in 2 Cup. 0.9 of a second is the gap between these two cars here. Minsky chasing down that 82 car and looking for the top step of the podium. Minsky was third overall in class in the previous race, and Nucera has now taken that spot in a 17-second drift from Minsky. And there he is. Very little damage there, at least on the right-hand side, but it was the left-hand side of the car that made contact with the 37, which is not exactly the way they would have liked to have started this race here. Now, if we look at that battle again between the 19 and number 9, 0.9 of a second it was, but they seem to be a lot closer this time around. YAS and Rahil battling it out there for 12th overall, but more importantly, top honours in the Polo Cup here at the YAS Marina circuit in race 2 of Golf Procar. As Minsky still trying to chase down Soraki Alamali in the 82. 0.9 of a second was the gap, and it looks like one of the Clios is under pressure from the DC5 as Karim Zahor looks to the inside of turn 1 but thinks better of it. It tucks up behind Aviganwa. This is a battle for position on track and not in class. Now, car 20 will receive a drive-through penalty for start procedure infringement. Car number 20 is Roman Tishkov, who receives a penalty. Now that's quite unfortunate for him. That will drop him behind the Clios. As again, Karim Zahor look on the inside of Abikanwa up through turn 5. He says, thank you very much, I will take the position, and off I go. You can deal with the Clios that are behind me, and that will be hard charging in due time, because there is Anthony and there is Roman, who unfortunately has that drive-through penalty, and he's going to have to come in and serve that unless he wants to pick up a penalty at the end of the race here. Now, the good news is for him that there are no other Clios behind him, but if he finds a way past Anthony, well, it's going to be very costly to him, as Aviganwa is attacking Karim Zahor down towards turn 6 here. He wants that position back, and he wants to have a car between himself and the other Clios that are around him. So through turn 5 and 6 he goes, no, 6 and 7, excuse me. We've got a great battle here for second between the two Clios, Anthony and Roman, in 10th and 11th position at the moment. So, Avikanwa still chasing down that DC5, but if we look further up the field, Stanislav Minsky has closed the gap up on Alamali. 0.4 of a second is the gap between the 82 and 72 as they run. Avikanwa and Karim were just separated by 0.2 of a second, but those positions have changed. So Karim now goes in front as Rawat Saladin there across the line, passing Anton Yechminev in the 2 Cup class, and that moves him up into 4th overall. Now he has to deal with Maxim Vlonkin, who is in front of him at the moment in 5th position. There is Maxim there working his way in the Soul Class 3 car, as we have 2 of the Polos there battling out for position. Is that Ojas and Rahil? I think it is, because it was 0.5 of a second at the line, and Storav is a little bit further back than he'd like to be from these two, but having a great battle are the 2 Polos here on this lap. Now, has Roman gone into the pit lane? Well, let's see what happens in about 11 seconds time if he'll come into the pit lane. As Minsky really closing that gap up on Alamali at this rate and looking for a way through, and there's a car that's gone round, and unfortunately that is Alamali, who is facing the wrong direction through turn 9. Now that's very unfortunate. Now definitely did not look like contact. It gives Stanislav Minsky the lead in 2 Cup, but he unfortunately did that all by his lonesome. And that is very, very unusual to spin there. Back now with the battle between the 2 Polos, excuse me. You see so many Clios on track, but it's great to see new cars entering the championship, especially the Polo Cup Middle East cars. The number 9 of Rahil Taneja looking to track down Ojas and take that position away from him. Now, of course, Schalke has got back up and running. Now, where does this put Giovanni Nucera? Does this put him back into 2nd place in 2 Cup? And how close does it put him to Stanislav Minsky? It does. 13 seconds is the gap between first and second now in 2 Cup. As El Amali there across the line, so he retains his podium finishing position for the time being, if the race comes to an end here. But an unfortunate spin there for the Baron Motorsport driver. Now, back with this battle here for the Polos as they drag race their way all the way down towards turn 6 here. Will Rahil have a look on the inside? Not quite close enough to make a move by Rahil there on Ojas, but they will make their way through, and no doubt Rahil will be trying to get as close as possible to the back bumper of Ojas again here through sector 2 and sector 3 to try and take that position away and be on the podium, the top step of the podium as well in class here at the YAS Marina circuit. Ojas has already got one trophy, one winner's trophy actually, that he was walking away with tonight, but Rahil would like to walk away with one as well. As we said, Minsky up now into second and is now into the lead of 2 Cup. Giovanni Nucera up into second now after that contact in the first corner on the very first lap of the race. And then we have Sharky El Amali, who is in 4th position overall, 21.4 seconds up the road from his compatriot in the 37. There is Letlaka out in front by 26.9 seconds to the good so far. And here is our Class 4 leader, Karim Zahur, in the 57. Just behind him is the leader in the Renault Clios, that's Aviganwa in the 71. That leads that category with just under 13 minutes remaining on the clock here. It's good news for him as Roman Tishanov comes in to serve his drive-through penalty here, and unfortunately that will drop him down the order. It will actually drop him behind these two here as well, behind Ojas and Rahil, and it may drop him behind Surav as well, depending on when he comes out of the pit lane. So that should be his drive-through penalty done and dusted for his start procedure infringement. Out he goes, so that message will be wiped from our screens. And then Roman has a lot of catching up to do here at the YAS Marina circuit if he wants to be one step higher on the podium. He was 3rd in our race earlier today, but would like to be one step higher. But unfortunately, that drive-through penalty has cost him dearly here at the YAS Marina circuit. So Letlaka leads in Class 1. Your 2 Cup leader is Stanislav Minsky. In Class 3, Maxim Volokin in 6th position overall. In Class 4, Karim Zahur leads in 8th overall. In the Clios, it's Aviganwa. And in the Polo Cup, it is Ojas in the number 90 that leads here. And those are your class leaders with just under 12 minutes remaining on the clock here. Now, interesting enough, the message for the drive-through penalty has not been removed from our timing screens, even though he's been in and out of the pit lane, unless that was not a drive-through penalty and he wanted to check something on the car instead with the team just to make sure that everything is right. But it certainly did feel like a drive-through for Roman down in 11th position, but it will drop him more. We'll see where it drops him. No doubt he'll be behind Ojas and Rahil, as car number 7 will receive the black and white flag next time they come by the start-finish line, and that is conveniently our race leader and Class 1 leader as well. Letlaka will be shown that for white line infringements. He does need to push too hard here. He's 30.7 seconds up the road from Stanislav Minsky at the moment. Giovanni Nucera, is he closing the gap? It does look like he's closing that gap as well, almost 2 seconds faster compared to Minsky on the previous lap with a 1:59.297 with a 2:02.959 for Minsky this time round. But Stanislav has to deal with some traffic in front of him. He had the Polo Cup cars in front of him on the previous lap. Now he's got the DC5 and that Clio as well to deal with, but he's got through. And Giovanni Nucera doesn't seem to have been slowed down by those two cars at all, because he's brought that gap down to 7.2 seconds now for Nucera. So we might have a great battle here towards the end of the race for the top step of the podium for 2 Cup at the moment, where it seems to be most of the action is happening, as it was in the first race as well. But we can't discount what's happening in Polo Cup as well, as Ojas is still just 9/10 of a second up the road from Rahil at the moment. And those two are battling, of course, for the top step of the podium in class. Now, Roman has come across the line, and Tishankov, unfortunately, behind Surav in the number 20, so that moves him up a position in the personal best last time round as well, a 2:22.122 for the number 36. As as this is your race leader in 2 Cup by 7.2 seconds to the good. But what about Nucera? Is he doing through the sector times? Well, he's gone 0.2 of a second faster through sector 1. He's gone almost 0.8 of a second faster through sector 2. So he's now taking some more time out of that gap between himself and the 2 Cup leader. So let's have a look at what happens through sector 3. How much time will Nucera gain as he works his way through that sector? And we can have a look at what the gap is between those two. It'll definitely come down from 7.2 seconds. Now, car 47 is being warned about track limits. That's Volonkin, who is down in 7th overall, now behind Anton Yechminev. There is Yechminev at the moment, currently sitting 5th overall in class, ahead now of his teammate, although the car is in a different class. As there is Minsky across the line. 7.2 was the gap last time round. This time round, though, it's 5.4 seconds. So almost 2 seconds taken out of Minsky's lead that time round. And it's only a matter of time now before Giovanni is on the back bumper of that number 72 car. And then we'll have a great battle for the top step of the podium in 2 Cup. Car number 10 will receive a 3-place penalty for a pit exit infringement. Now, we saw this earlier on today in the Gulf Radical Cup race as well. Now, that car is... Where is that car on track at the moment? There's another warning pops out, but that's for Maxim Volonkin this time round for 47. It was car number 10, and that's Anton Yechminev, who will pick up that 3-place grid penalty for the next race. Well, the good thing is he doesn't have to look forward to that for this weekend. I don't know if you do look forward to having a 3-place grid penalty, but unfortunately at the end of the month, that is when he'll be handed that grid place penalty, because it carries over. Just because there's no race tomorrow doesn't mean the 3-place grid penalty will evaporate into thin air. It will actually be moved across to the next round of racing as Litlaka moves past Maxim Volonkin there. Volonkin moves off the racing line to not impede Litlaka. So it's the faster car while the blue flags are being shown here at the YAS Marina circuit. And that's the interesting thing about class racing, is that you have a mixed field of cars here. You have the Class 1, for example, Procar. We've got Class 1, 2 Cup, 3, 4, Renault Clio and Polo Cup as well. But of course, when it comes to class racing, you have different speeds, you've got different cars. So those cars that are not as quick as, say, the Vantage V8 will have to move out of the way of the race leader. That also goes for the 2 Cup cars as well. If they go down a lap, they still have to move out of the way. Yes, they're fighting to stay on the lead lap, but if the race leader is coming through at a quicker pace, they need to move out of the way. Those are the rules. As Litlaka quickest through sector 1 with a 24.616 going purple as it gets a bit cooler here at the YAS Marina circuit. The sun has kind of dipped down behind the grandstands over there, the West Grandstand, as it's called. Makes for cooler conditions here, and the lights are ablaze on all of the cars here, although the facilities here at the YAS Marina circuit, you don't necessarily need lights to run here, because it kind of lights up as if it was daytime here. But it is Litlaka who leads by now 46.7 seconds, and the gap between second and third has come right down to just 3.4 seconds between Minsky and Nucera. So we're going to have a fantastic battle now between those 2 cars, the 72 and 16. They are currently working their way through turn 6 and 7. So about a corner separate those 2 cars here at the moment. Last time around, a 159.029 for Giovanni and a 201.046 for Stanislav. So that number 16 is, well, now it is 2 seconds faster a lap compared to that number 72 at the moment, as Litlaka putting Yechminev a lap down as he moves out of the way as soon as he can through turn 1. And Nucera still trying to find a way past, or at least catch the back bumper of Stanislav Minsky here at YAS. 5 minutes to go here in our final race of the day around the YAS Marina circuit. Not the final race of the weekend though, because of course we'll be racing again tomorrow at least one more time for the Gulf Radical Cup. Now, a black and white flag will be shown to car number 37, Rawad Saladin, for track limit infringements. And look at this, that is a polo on the inside of Anthony Shanok. As we said before, it's a great battle, and it would be fantastic to see the Polos mix it up with the Clios here, and now we're getting a taste of this now. Just there, what could he have done through qualifying? Because it would have made things very interesting here at the YAS Marina circuit. There he is. It puts the indicator on and it says to Ledlaka, please go through, but I want to stay where I am ahead of the Clios that are behind me, and of course the Polo that's behind me as well. And that is the race leader that goes round in a very similar fashion to what happened to Shawaki Alamali early on. Now the yellow flag is being shown after turn 7, and that takes over an overtaking opportunity. Will we get a replay of this? Yes, we will. Here's what happened. He did it all by his lonesome, just maybe a little bit too late on the brakes there for Ledlaka. He wasn't too close on the corner, and there we go. The rear end just steps out, and unfortunately around he goes. And for those that are coming around the corner for Ojas, thinking, why is there an Aston Martin facing in my direction? I don't need this, but off he goes, and of course gets that lap back. So does Yechminev as well. He gets that lap back, and there is a pass for the lead in 2 Cup. Nucera now takes the lead ahead of Stanislav Minsky in that category, and Ojas and Rahil both get past in their Clios, past the Anthony Shannock driven number 4, bumping him down to 12th overall. And a sigh of relief will be breathed by Aviganwa, as there are not 1 but 2 cars now between himself and his closest rival. The number 36 is the next car that receives a black and white flag, and that will be shown to them next time they come across the line. That's Sarav in the 36 car, with just over 3 minutes, under 3 minutes remaining on the clock here at the YAS Marina circuit for our final race of the day. And here is confirmation across the line that Nucera is your new race leader in 2 Cup by 9/10 of a second at the line from what happened to him on lap number 1, coming into contact with the number 37 of Rawad Saladin. Now back into the lead of the category, tumbled all the way down to 4th in class, but now in the position where he wanted to be in race number 1 until those electrical gremlins struck. And well, the team have done a fantastic job to figure out what the issue was exactly and get the car up and running and put it back into a position where it should have been in race number 1. So now Stanislav Minsky will have to chase him down. The good news is for Minsky that there are 35.8 seconds between himself and his closest rival, and the likes of the 82, our race 1 winner in 2 Cup here, with Ledlaka out in front by 34.6 seconds. In effect, his lead by too much with that spin through turn 9. Got the car going again, and well, is out in front still and leading class 1. In 2 Cup, Giovanni Nucera from Stanislav Minsky and Shawaki Alamali, those are your top 3. There's a flash of headlights there from Nucera, a flash of the headlights as well from Minsky to warn Aviganwa that he's coming through. Do not impede my race because I'm trying to chase down the man that's just passed you. That will be the message that he's trying to send there, and actually that is not Aviganwa. That would be Roman Teshkanov, who's gone through turn 9. Past the Polos go the 2 race leaders in 2 Cup as well. So just under a minute remaining on the clock. That means this is the final lap of the race here for Ledlaka, looking for a second outright victory here at the YAS Marina circuit in Golf Procar, followed by Giovanni Nucera, Stanislav Minsky and Shawaki Alamali. And there is a yellow flag at turn 15. Now, was that for Maxim Wolokin, who went round briefly? It may have been because his lap time was a little slower than it usually is there, with a 2:17.962 as his last lap time. That was 7 seconds slower than his best lap so far this race. So 1 lap to go, 16 corners here to go for Ledlaka, but it looks like he's already gone through sector 1 and he's down the back straight now through turn 6 here for the final time. Is the number 7 Aston Martin. So now through turn 8 goes our pole sitter and our current leader as well, leading by 33.5 seconds to the good so far. Personal best on the previous lap for YAS Saladin. He's coming across the line now, but it was a 2:01.283, and he's only 4/10 of a second off his teammate and his brother, and he's done a 2:03.6. The battle is certainly on here for the final step of the podium in 2 Cup at the moment. We've got a gap of 4/10 of a second, between the 82 and 37 here at the moment, and we've got a long racetrack ahead to sort this out, to see which of the two will come out on top, which of the two will be on that third step of the podium here. Now, for Juan Saladin, it'll be a fantastic effort from him as well, after tumbling to the tail end of the field in 2 Cup, to go onto the podium, much like this man here, Giovanni Nucera, who went to 4th in class after the contact. But Litlaka across the line takes yet another victory here overall in Golf Procar, and he'll come across the line ahead of Giovanni Nucera. Through that corner though now comes Anton Yechmenev in the number 10, and he'll be shown as 2nd overall, but that's not where he finishes. Karim Zahor will be the next car across the line and takes a well-deserved victory in Class 4. That should be Avik Anwar now making his way through the final corner, and he'll take yet another well-deserved race victory in class in the Renault Clios. There is Giovanni Nucera, and there is Ojas and Rahil as well in the Polos. Or has there been a swap at the end there? No, it hasn't. It's still Ojas in front. Stanislav Minsky comes across the line in 2nd, but what about this battle for 3rd in class between Alamali and Saradin? It actually looks like the 37 has got through. Has the 37 pipped his brother here on the very last lap of the race? So we have to wait and see when they come through the final corners. Will it be the 37 or will it be the 82? There is Roman, who comes across the line, and there is the final of the Polo, Sarav, through the final corner. But what about the 2 from Baron Motorsport? Will it be with Shalki or will it be Rawad? Which of the 2 will we see first through the corner? Is it the 37 or the 82? Well, it's going to be a photo finish for the team across the line, and it was Schalke who stays in front by 0.2 of a second at the line, ahead of his brother in the 37. But what a magnificent recovery drive, though, nonetheless, from Rawad to come and finish 4th overall in the 2 Cup category. Unfortunately for Baron Motorsports, they won't have 2 cars on the podium, but they can definitely pat themselves on the back here. That was an incredible drive from Rawad there in the 37. Same for Giovanni Nucera as well. A great drive from him after the contact earlier on through turn 1 to put himself on the top step of the podium in class, and a well-deserved victory for not just himself but the team as well here at the YAS Marina circuit. There is Litlaka, who comes through and into his deserving number 1 position there, just in front of the board, and our marshals who are directing them in place. And just a quick one here to everyone who's watching, a huge shout out to all the guys and girls that are in orange jumpsuits, because without them we would not be going racing here at all. The marshals do a fantastic job week in and week out here for us to go racing, and of course without them we would not be going racing. So a huge shout out to all the marshals for the incredible job that they do here all weekend long. There is the number 10, but I have a feeling that's not the car that should be in the 2nd position. That is Anton Yechmenev, who looks like he incurred a penalty because he's been dropped behind Avik Anwar, so the marshals will have to push that car back into Parc Ferme, because that 2nd position there belongs to Giovanni Nucera, and on the left-hand side where we see the number 3, that is where Stanislav Minsky will slot into place. Now, those cars are not in sight just yet, as the teams go over to greet their drivers and tell them how much of a fantastic job they've done, as there you see Karim Zahor, the winner in Class 4, slotted into position. There on your far right was Giovanni Nucera, and he'll be directed into that 2nd position there. It's 2nd overall, but it's the top step of the podium for him in class, and that's exactly where he wants to be. Stanislav Minsky does 1 better this time round and goes 2nd on the podium. It will be 3rd for Schalke Alamali, who unfortunately was at the top step of the podium in class last time out, but he will be on the podium nonetheless. So there you see Litlaka in the middle. On the right-hand side is Giovanni Nucera, and on the left-hand side is Stanislav Minsky. They're the top 3 overall, but in their classes, Litlaka in Class 1, Nucera in 2 Cup, with Minsky, Alamali in 3rd, your top 3 in class. And then in Class 3, Maxim Vlonikin in the 6th position overall, with Karim Zahor 7th overall, and the winner in Class 4. Avik Anwar takes the win in the Clios ahead of Anthony Shannock and Roman Tishankov. And we have to look around to find the winners in the Polo Cup because they have mixed it up with the Clios, as both YAS and Rahil sit in the 10th and 11th position respectively, and a first and second place there for the two of them. So that brings an end to a very interesting second race here at the YAS Marina circuit for Golf Procar. We look forward to more of the season and what it has in store for us, because of course next we'll move over to the Dubai Autodrome for the second round, which will take place at the end of this month here. But before we go, and we'll of course have the podium presentations, and we can also check out some highlights as well of this epic race and all the action that unfolded with no less than at least 3 spins that we saw on track. And the good news is for all 3, they got going again pretty quickly. And the good news is that there was no safety cars deployed. So why don't we check out some highlights now from race 2 of Golf Procar. It was certainly an exciting one. thrilling conclusion to the day there in race 2 of Golf Procar. That means we have to hand out some trophies. So let's start off with Cup 2, or 2 Cup, as I've written it here, and that's actually the correct way of saying it. So let's move on to 3rd overall. Please welcome Sharke El Amali as he sprints his way across. I know that he can hear me all the way there in the cool-down room. Next up in 2nd position, please welcome Stanislav Minsky. And to the top step of the podium in 2 Cup, please welcome Giovanni Nucera. Incredible to think that this is his first race weekend here at the YAS Marina circuit, and he's taken it straight for the victory here in race number 2. Now then, to help us present some trophies, we're first going to invite Ijaz Hisham to help us present the 3rd place trophy in class in 2 Cup to Sharke El Amali. And it's a long walk over there for the marshal, not just the winners for the event as well. Then we invite Eugene Gabatko to help us present the 2nd place trophy in class to Stanislav Minsky. And last but not least, we'll invite Zara to help us present the winner's trophy in class here in 2 Cup to Giovanni Nucera. Feel like a long walk all the way over there, but a well-deserved victory there for Giovanni, and of course our podium finishers here as well. It was a very interesting and exciting race 2 here in Golf Procar. As they will pose for pictures, if you could all group together here on the top step of the podium for the pictures there, and then we can move on to our next podium, which will be for the Clio, the Renault Clios, excuse me. There's a quick pose of the pictures there. I think they're all done, so what we can do now is let's invite our winners in the Renault Clio category. In 3rd position, please welcome Roman Tistenkov. In 2nd position, please welcome Anthony Shannock. And Anthony is here. Yes, he's making his way now to the podium as well. And now our winner. He's made it 2 for 2 here this weekend. Can he continue the momentum? Please welcome Avik Anwar. And to help us present some trophies, we once again invite the Marshall team here, and we'll first invite Randall to help us present the winner's trophy. Sorry, not the winner's trophy, I'm jumping the gun here. He's presenting the 3rd place trophy here to Roman Tistenkov. Next up, we invite Olali Khan to help us present the 2nd place trophy in the Clio Cup to Anthony Shannock. And then last but not least, we'll invite Achaya to help us present the winner's trophy in the Renault Clio category to Avik Anwar. And a brilliant job here from all of our marshals. A big shout out to each and every one of them around the track for an incredible job that they do, because as we said before, without them, we cannot be going racing here at all. They do a marvelous job, and a lot of it is behind the scenes, and you don't get to see them very often. Well, that's one reason why they wear orange, so that we can see them around the track, as the winners here will pose for a final group photo here. And then we will move on to the final podium of the evening here. And I see that the Polo Cup boys are already ready to go here, so let's get things moving. In 3rd place, please welcome Sorav B. Can't mess that one up, can I? It's just one letter. In 2nd position, please welcome Rahil Taneja. And to the top step of the podium in the Polo Cup, if only qualifying went his way. But to the top step of the podium, please welcome YAS Survey. I got it this time. That's what it helps when you wrote it out phonetically. So, to help us present our 3 trophies, we will once again invite the excellent marshals that we have here today. Ashlyn will be the one to hand over the 3rd place trophy in Class 2, Sorav B. We then invite Cherry Lou to help us present the 2nd place trophy in the Polo Cup to Rahil Taneja. And last but not least, we'll invite Noel to help us present our final trophy of the evening, but one of the most important ones, to our winner in the Polo Cup category, YAS! And that brings an exciting end here to an exciting day of racing at the YAS Marina circuit. We'll do it all again tomorrow. But of course, if you're looking for more action from Golf Procar, you'll have to wait till the end of the month, because that's when we'll be racing here once again. For everybody watching at home, for everybody here, thank you so much for joining us here this weekend. It's been absolutely fantastic. But wait, do we have an additional trophy that we'd like to give out? That might be a secret for later. But for now, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate your company, and we will see you soon.